My name is Dr. Bart Rademaker, and I'm passionate about creating change and enhancing life. And that's the common thread of all the things that I do, being a plastic surgeon, being a life coach, a performance strategist, a speaker, an author, as well as a host of a radio show on the internet, as well as social media. My passion is to create change and enhance life. What really excites me, my emotional currency today, is seeing other people's success. My belief is that we live in an intelligent universe. Nothing happens by random. And if you think about it, if you just stop to think about it for a moment, is that you are the culmination of all your decisions, all your emotions, all your experiences to this very moment that you're listening to me. So in other words, it's really your fault that you're right here, right now. But think about that for a moment. Because said differently, you are also in charge of your own brain. You are also in charge of your own thoughts, and therefore your own actions. Now, I know it's not that easy at times, but it can be.
What is it that I don't know? What is it that I don't see that can change my life? Think about that for a moment. How often do you actually ask yourself this question? Because here's the thing, 70,000 to 90,000 thoughts every single day, of which 90% are the same ones as the day before. Well, why not change that? Start asking better questions.
Going to New Zealand with Liverlist this time has a particular meaning for me personally. And it's because I get to travel with my daughter. And she's 20 years old, she's a grown woman, and she's very focused on two things in her life. Being very successful in school, but also to play at a national level at soccer.
I really want to thank you for this opportunity. I did not know what this was going to be like with her. I had no expectations. I just knew that I loved her and I wanted her to have an experience that I knew that she had never had before. Particularly to connect with all these beautiful women, successful in their own right, in their own way, in their own magnificence, in their own femininity. And for those who have children, know the magnificence in our children. Who they are. They're our legacy, they're our future. And sometimes, no, all the time, it's hard when you have to stand on the sidelines. And I'm so glad that we're together.
So we started off with trekking up the mountain, which is beautiful, spectacular, amazing. And then of course, the luge. The luge was something I'd never done before. And I have to admit, I was kind of, concerned about going down these treacherous paths, particularly because there's no liability consent there as well. So I knew I might be in trouble on these tracks. But I also knew that I was going to be competing by some rough and tough people out there. And but going down the luge was an incredible experience. It's a lot of fun competing with the others and trying to knock people off the track. And delightfully seeing my daughter just spin out and crash. And so that was a lot of fun. So one of the best parts of the entire trip, and this is a recurring experience throughout the trip, it's the unknown. It's the place that you are anticipating all sorts of things and then being actually pleasantly surprised that it's actually better than you ever thought it was. But it's all that anticipation, it's all that energy going into the possibility of life around you. And going to the stadium for our talks, for our presentations, was no exception to that. And in particular, the experience of the Inspire event at a rugby stadium, talking in front of hundreds of people, is simply that your message is important. All of our messages are important. Our voice is to be heard. Whether you agree with our voice or not, it's simply that opportunity to create new choices for other people so that they can make new decisions for yourself. And that's exactly what the Inspire event was all about. The best part for me at the Inspire event was watching my own daughter speak in front of hundreds of people.
But one thing I always say to myself to keep me grounded is to have hope. And for me, hope stands for hold on, pain ends. It could take 2 minutes, could take two years, but in the end, we know the pain will end.
Very interesting experience meeting the Waitaha. And it was a delicious experience. It was an eye-opening experience. And the very first memory that I will always keep is meeting Papa. And Papa is like the Buddha, the happy Buddha person. If you can imagine a happy Buddha face, this is Papa. And just his presence, his essence, just allows you just to feel totally at home, totally safe, totally at peace, and know that the world is really okay, that you're okay. And what was interesting with the entire experience in what was called the marae, and this is a space that they hold sacred, where they hang their ancestors on a wall so that they would remember them. And it's that space where people could speak freely. And what was most remarkable is reminding us that there are no rules at all, except for one: do not hurt.
The greatest gift you can give yourself is yourself. But most of us don't know who we are. And sometimes we have to travel a long way to be away from the cell phone and the texts and our mothers and our cousins and our brothers and our office workers, so we can actually have the freedom to be who we are. So take this time to be who you really are.
My platform is called Prescription for Your Transformation. It's very exciting for me because I'm passionate about creating change and enhancing life. And I realize that the intelligence out there's so many people with so many talents, so many gifts. And what I do is I bring them all together in my platform. I interview them and share their talents and gifts with the rest of the world, because we all deserve to be heard. And we also deserve to have that permission that it's okay to be human, that it's okay just to be us, just who we are. And you don't even have to qualify it. You don't have to say, oh, it's just perfect, whatever it is. You don't have to justify that it's okay. No. Giving yourself permission to be human. I celebrate my faults and my weaknesses. And I love that because it allows me to be aware of where it is that I really want to go. It's that way.
Hinga mana I taga no na nahi. Hinga rito mana.